The doctor's hand trembled when he pressed the note into my bag. His eyes flickered toward the door, then back to me. "Run from your family now." I didn't understand, not yet, but I felt the weight of those words like a blade pressed against my skin. And that night, I learned he had just saved my life. Hashtag. I grew up believing family meant safety. My husband, Daniel, reinforced that idea when we first met. He was charming, steady, a man who knew how to hold a room without raising his voice. He promised me a home, a life, protection, and for years I believed him. We had dinners at long tables, laughter that seemed unshakable, rituals that painted the picture of loyalty. His sister became my confidant, his mother my second mother, or so I thought. It began small. My prescriptions went missing. Medications I swore I had taken, suddenly forgotten. I felt dizzy more often, weaker. Daniel told me I was just tired. His mother suggested stress. His sister offered tea and sympathy. But their eyes lingered too long when I stumbled. And when I asked questions, silence was the only answer. I thought I was imagining things, until the doctor's note. That evening I pretended nothing had changed. I smiled at dinner, I let Daniel pour me a glass of wine, but I didn't drink it. Instead, I excused myself, locked the bedroom door, and opened the note again under the light of my bedside lamp. "Run from your family now." I replayed the consultation in my head. The way the doctor's voice had stuttered when Daniel hovered too close. The way he insisted on seeing me alone for tests. His final glance, pleading, desperate. The truth settled like ice in my veins. It wasn't stress. It wasn't forgetfulness. It was them. I didn't confront anyone, not yet. Instead, I began to watch, to measure every move. At breakfast, I noticed how Daniel's hand lingered over my plate just a second too long. His sister's eager insistence on making me tea. His mother's satisfied nod when I grew pale mid-conversation. They weren't caring for me. They were waiting for me to weaken, to collapse, to die. The apartment, the insurance policies, the accounts, all in my name. And with me gone, everything fell to them. So I stayed calm. I played the fragile wife, and I planned. The next day I went back to the doctor, alone. I told him I understood. He confirmed it, traces of poison in my blood, too small to kill quickly, but enough to wear me down. I asked him for copies of the reports, evidence. He gave them to me quietly, sliding the papers into an envelope as if it were contraband. That night, I staged my own weakness. I spilled wine on myself at dinner, apologized clumsily, and excused myself early. They smirked when I left the room. While they congratulated themselves, I gathered everything. The medical records, copies of insurance policies, bank documents, my passport. And then I made a final call, to the police and to a lawyer who owed my late father a debt. 2 nights later, I served them dinner, just like always. I smiled, poured their wine, let them toast to family. And when they raised their glasses, the doorbell rang. Uniforms entered first, then detectives, and finally the doctor, summoned as witness. Their faces twisted from confusion to terror as the officers laid out the evidence. The tampered medications, the altered prescriptions, the toxicology reports. Every detail matched. Daniel stammered. His mother wept. His sister denied everything. But the silence in that room was louder than their cries. They knew. I knew. The officers knew. They had tried to kill me slowly, and I had killed their future in one night. As they were led away, Daniel turned to me. His voice cracked. "You set us up." I met his eyes, calm, steady. "No," I said, "you set yourselves up. I just let the truth in." He dropped his gaze. That was the last I saw of him. People think betrayal feels like fire. It doesn't. It feels like drowning in silence while the people you trust hold you under. But survival? Survival is sharp, cold, controlled. The doctor's note didn't just save my life, it gave me clarity. It reminded me that family isn't defined by blood or vows. Family is who protects you when no one else will. I buried the idea of loyalty that night, and I buried my marriage with it. Now, when I think back to Daniel's hand hovering over my plate, I don't feel pain. I feel power. Because the one thing they never counted on was that I'd stop playing victim. And once I stopped, their game was over.